How you doing, man?
Good.
I got a song for you.
I'm ready.
I got it. I got it, man. Yeah, right here. I can't sing though, but anyway.
Give it a shot.
Leaves are falling all around.
Oh yeah.
On my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged. Been a pleasant day. Now it's time for me to go. Darkness lies my way. Now I smell the rain.
Hello, viewers. It's James Kalm, the guy on the bike, your half-assed art reporter. And this afternoon we're down here at the Peter Freeman Incorporated, and we're going to take a look at an exhibition by Catherine Murphy, titled Recent Work. We'll make a quick walking sweep through the installation. I was running around, I guess it's a week and a half ago on a Sunday, and bumped into a youngish painter friend, Amanda Church, and I asked her what was hot, what she'd been looking at, and she said, well, you've definitely got to go see the Catherine Murphy show. So, it took me a while, but I finally made it. This piece is titled Cherry Pie 2014 Oil on Canvas, 38 by 45 inches. Well, I've been bumping into Catherine's work for 30 some odd years. And, well, I think in many ways she's probably one of the top realist painters in America, at least here in the New York scene. And I think one of the great things about the work that kind of distinguishes it from some of the other quote-unquote realists is that Catherine is not a photorealist. That's a nice little detail. It's titled Flat Screen, 2016, 35 by 49. She's, I guess we should call it a real realist in that, as I understand it, she actually works on a lot of this directly in front of the subject. And I don't know, maybe she does use photographs to collect details and other pieces of information, but she does a lot of drawing and work on the paintings, I guess, right in front of the subject. And I think in that way she's different than a lot of the quote-unquote realists. And well, there was a whole discussion about the idea of photography and realism that was taken on by the pictures generation. It's titled Shift, 2016 oil on canvas, 2 parts. Each is 37 by 45. I think the other thing that's interesting about Catherine's work is that she picks a lot of very quotidian, very everyday kind of unremarkable subject matters. For example, I'm not sure, but I think this is a rendering of a pie crust, or at least the preparations for making a pie crust. I'll read a little bit of the press release. In her paintings and drawings, Murphy's career-long interest has been in decoding reality as a place of constant and inevitable change, realizing abstract ideas through the exploration of everyday objects and situations. Oh, this has got a nice title. This is titled Flat Space, 2016 graphite on paper, 24 by 30. She inverts the viewer's expectations and blurs boundaries between interior and exterior, flatness and depth, background and foreground. And in doing so, upsets assumptions about the place she represents and the people who live their lives in them. Okay. This is really a nice drawing, and just from looking at the texture and the build-up and the way that she's using the eraser as kind of a drawing tool, you can see that she spends a lot of time on these. It's called Inside Outside, 12 1/4 by 17. And she gets an incredible gamut of grays, wonderful use of graphite. We'll just walk down these row of drawings. This is titled Studio Wall. This is 2014 graphite on paper, 32 by 34. And yeah, you can get this for 85 grand. Well, I like this because you've got the texture of this kind of distressed wooden wall, some plywood in there, and then there's the scribble on top of there. We've got the little butterfly. Maybe we have the little notation, the dimension there, 64.5 by something. And then the smudges. Well, one of the things I appreciate about the work is that Catherine does a great job of picking out subject matter that kind of does fluctuate between flatness and depth. The graphic and the sculptural, the light and the dark. Also, it says here that this show coincides with the release of her new book that was written with an essay by John Yao, one of our favorite critics and poets. This is titled Chairback. And these little strips of wood here in the back of the chair are called splats. This is one of my words that my son found in our little dictionary game. Also, there's a nice play of light coming in there from the upper left hand that sort of brightens this section right here. This is studio floor, and again a very kind of unassuming subject matter. You got your extension cords. Gee, I've got some orange extension cords just like this wrapped up on my studio floor. I think one of the pieces that she did a couple of years ago that kind of attracted and repulsed me at the same time was a painting of a sink, and I think there was a clump of hair caught in a little drain basket. This is a wonderful piece. This is titled Stacked. Oil on canvas 60 by 60. And well, just standing here in the gallery looking at this is really so realistic that it almost looks like a little bookcase built into the wall. Well, I was talking before about how realism and photorealism and the pictures generation kind of spawned a debate about representation, or as the critics at October pointed out, presentation. There's a whole world of belief, a whole ideology of knowledge and representation that has evolved from photography. And so in many ways we don't really see the world, we see kind of versions of photographs of the world, or even our version of the world is seen through photographs, and those photographs relate to other photographs. Well, the photorealists would work with photographs, sometimes slides, and they would simply project them onto a canvas, and then very tediously they would fill them in as closely as they could to the photograph. And they would push the technique as far as they could and try to kind of make the paintings indistinguishable from a blow-up of a photograph. And in that way they were questioning realism, perception, how you saw things. I think Catherine wants to pursue realism from a different aspect, kind of a more personal, unmediated level of realism. I think Catherine kind of breaks through that and steps back one step closer to reality. titled Floribunda, 2015, 66 by 41. Okay, this is interesting because we've got this, it's like a William Morris wallpaper design. Let's look up a little closer so you can get an idea of her chunky brushwork. And that's contrasted against this, looks like maybe plates, teacups or something that have been broken, but they have a similar design. And, well, like some of the photorealists, Catherine gets up and looks at every square inch of the canvas and works every little bit of this. Yeah, in certain ways, this kind of is a great reference to Cubism. This is titled Be Kalm, 54 by 72. And, well, this is nice because it sort of shows Catherine as a colorist as well. You know, but even in her broad expanses of flat color, there's a lot of brushwork going on there, and yeah, so this kind of red-orange inner tube, that little oval of blue there is so nice. And well, I'm looking at some of her, I guess this is reflections of foliage. And then you've got some leaves floating on the reflections. But, yeah. Some of these have the same kind of mannerisms you'd see in a Canaletto painting. But there are some little nubby things going on there. That blue is nice. Well, there's a whole group of New York painters that hang out in Maine during the summer. I wonder if Catherine is doing these paintings somewhere up in Maine. It's titled Float, 2015, oil on canvas, 72 by 54. Courtesy of the Louis Dreyfus Family Collection. Okay, that's a nice collection to be in. So she does a great job with her reflections. Hell, the reflection is mostly what the painting is about, and those few highlights in the composition that are not reflections are kind of the outliers, the inliers. I was going to say some of the people that hang out in Maine are Alex Katz and Louise Dodd and Kathy Bradford. This is painting, drawing, painting. 2017. Oil on canvas. 51 by 72 inches. Well, again, we've got a nice kind of, it's almost like a surrealist, I wouldn't say a trompe-l'oeil, although there are kind of super realistic and eye-fooling parts to this, but it's also kind of a conceptual trompe-l'oeil, kind of messing with your mind about, okay, if we've got a drawing for a painting that then becomes a painting of a drawing, it's like, what are we actually dealing with here? Are we dealing with painting or drawing? And beautiful rendering of the paper and the deckled edge, and also we'll just sort of drift over some of these sections of gray. Now I wonder, we didn't see this drawing in the show. It's 160 grand. And I even like her painted in guidelines and thumbprints and smudges. Yeah, and this kind of spiral pattern coming out of the, I guess that's a doe's head. Very nice. I like this piece. It's titled Clasp. Well, we were talking before about the idea of realism versus photorealism, and if you kind of take out that step of the photograph and you go directly to representation, does that make it more real? This is great because it's almost monochromatic, although if you get up close you can see that there are kind of dark grays that shade towards the maroon, dark grays that shade towards yellow ochre. Also, I think there's probably a little more varnish, a little more glazing on this one. I guess you could probably go back and one of the reports and look at a show that we covered of Troy Brontook maybe a year ago, and he did a whole show, not the whole thing, but about half of it was based on black gloves done very subtly in an almost monochromatic format. James Kalm reporting on Catherine Murphy, recent work. Here, Peter Freeman, Inc., 140 Grand Street in SoHo. You can leave your comments, criticisms, critiques, reviews, ideas, discussion points. Please don't start getting into the politics, or I'll have to delete it. But anything else you'd like to leave a comment on, you can like this and subscribe. But you've got to help me thank Kate.
My baby. That's a badass blue.
That was great. That was great.
Man,
I think you earned a bonus here. You earned a bonus, really. That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your support, man. You gotta support live music, man. Thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much, man.